Ever check into a hotel and get that feeling, that prickle on the back of your neck that tells you you're not alone? I've been chasing ghosts for years, and let me tell you, some places just hum with the unseen. But nothing, and I mean nothing, prepared me for the story of room 606 at the Grandview Hotel. Some say that room's a portal, a thin spot between worlds. Others claim it's just a really good story. Me? I'm not so sure anymore. The Grandview itself is a relic. Built back in the late 1800s, it oozes history and something else. The kind of history that clings to the walls, seeps into the carpets. It's seen its share of tragedy, of course. Every old hotel has. But the story of room 606, that's different. It all started in 1928. A young woman, a singer named Eliza May, checked into room 606, beautiful they say, with a voice that could shatter glass. She was on the cusp of stardom. But one rainy October night, Eliza was found dead in her room. An apparent suicide, overdose, tragic, but not unheard of. But here's where it gets weird. Guests started complaining. Whispers in the night, the feeling of being watched, items moving on their own, all centered around room 606. The staff dismissed it as nerves, old building jitters. But then, people started seeing her, Eliza May, standing by the window, singing a mournful tune that seemed to claw its way into your soul. A song of sorrow. A song of dread, as one guest described it. The hotel tried everything, blessings, sage, even a couple of those self-proclaimed ghost hunters. Nothing worked. Room 606 remained active. Over the years, it gained a reputation. A room you just didn't book. Most staff refused to even go near it. That is until Mr. Alistair Blackwood arrived. A writer, obsessed with the paranormal. He'd heard the stories and was determined to spend a night in room 606. The manager, a weary man named Mr. Davies, tried to dissuade him. Some doors are best left unopened, Mr. Blackwood, he warned. But Blackwood was insistent. He even signed a waiver, absolving the hotel of any responsibility. Famous last words, right? Mr. Davies reluctantly gave him the key. Room 606 hadn't been opened in years. The air inside was thick, heavy with the scent of dust and decay. Blackwood set up his equipment, cameras, recorders, the usual ghost hunting gadgets. He settled in for the night, determined to document whatever might happen. The first few hours were quiet, eerily quiet. Then, around 3 a.m., the temperature plummeted. Blackwood's equipment started going haywire. Static filled the air. And then he heard it. A faint melody, a haunting song coming from the corner of the room. Eliza's song. Blackwood, according to his notes, was terrified, but also exhilarated. He fumbled with his camera, trying to capture the apparition. He described seeing a figure forming in the shadows, a woman in a shimmering gown, her face obscured by darkness. She was singing, her voice growing louder, more intense. Her voice, it was like ice in my veins, he wrote. Then everything went black. The camera cut out. The recorder stopped. When Mr. Davies found Blackwood the next morning, he was slumped in a chair, his face pale, his eyes wide with terror. The room was freezing cold. Blackwood was alive, but changed. He never spoke coherently again. He babbled about shadows and songs, about a woman who wanted to pull him into the darkness. He was eventually committed to an asylum, where he died a few years later. They say his last words were, "She's still singing." The Grandview Hotel closed its doors shortly after. Some say it was the financial crash. Others say it was the curse of room 606. Whatever the reason, it stands abandoned now, a decaying monument to a tragedy. They say if you stand outside room 606 late at night, you can still hear Eliza's song. A song of sorrow, a song of dread, a song that will chill you to the bone. I've been there myself. I think I heard it. Or maybe it was just the wind. But honestly, to this day, I still think about Mr. Blackwood. And I wonder what he saw in the darkness. And I also wonder who will be the next guest in room 606. So what do you think? Would you spend a night in room 606? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this spooky story, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more tales of the paranormal. Sweet dreams. If you can get any tonight,